Welcome back to Super Sentai Reviews. And in this episode, I'm reviewing. I think it's up now. Okay. The next I'm reviewing is Kyuukyuu Sentai GoGoFive, which overall is the 23rd Sentai. The first two I covered, which was the 21st and 2nd, respectively. I'm also covered the film that aired during the series, not the crossover film. I'll take care of that. I'll talk about that next episode. The film that aired during the series, solo film, which is called GoGoFive Southern Shock: A New Warrior. I'll talk about that soon. But first, first up, the GoGoFive series, which was the Sentai used for Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, which that one was 38 episodes. This one was, I believe, about 50. I'm sure about that. It was actually the Sentai I finished up. This was 50. So it's basically about 12 episodes shorter than Lightspeed Rescue. Now, the one thing, there was two things big. There's one particular thing, a big theme about this particular one is family. Basically, the GoGoFive Rangers are all, well, four brothers and one sister, and they all live together with their father. Their mother is missing for years. Apparently, when things started, their father, who basically he was used as the basis of two characters in Lightspeed Rescue. See, Tsumi, that's the family. The guy's name is Dr. Mondo Tasami, and and the way he's depicted is that he's an older guy with white hair. Now the two characters used for the basis for in Lightspeed Rescue was Captain Mitchell and Miss Merriweather, the woman who later married the Green Ranger. Not in the case of this one. They do have a couple allies. One, of course, was a shuttle pilot, which in Power Rangers was a one-shot character. In this one, she's actually a regular character, which I'll talk about her arc throughout the whole thing that she had throughout the whole entire series. Pretty much, and they battle a group of a family of demons known as the Seisma family. That is pretty much who the main villains are. They're led by Grand Witch Gwendolyn, who is used for Queen Densure in Lightspeed Rescue. There's also, I'm not going to talk about the head sibling. Basically, they were normally led by Dark King Zefazuza. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He is basically diabolical. Yep. Corbadilla, who is the third son, even though technically he is actually his second son. He is Lokai. That's who his Power Rangers counterpart is. And then you have Evil Spirit Priestess Danis, who is used for Vipra. And her actress was really terrible. Dragon Prince Salamandus, Olympius. Then you have Perry, basically Jinxer. Yeah. And the Gamos, basically, not the Gamos, there's something else. The familiar imps. They're the grunts for the whole entire thing, which is what Lights Rescue did use. Which I have heard they're the first Sentai grunts they actually used for the first time since, I believe, Mega Ranger. They actually was first time since in space they did this for. Now, pretty much most of the entire thing of battling these people back and forth. Now, there is some slight differences between Lightspeed Rescue and GoGoFive. In GoGoFive, they actually not only get their morphers, which they get in the very first episode, they also form their Megazord. They also get their Zords and form it for the first time in the very first episode, and they battle the first giant-sized monster. In Lightspeed Rescue, they waited until the 4th episode to do this. I don't know why, but they did. But basically, similar things kind of happen between Lightspeed Rescue, like them battling a creature from a volcano, and a guy who's a bank robber on a bus. They use similar ideas. It's not that much difference here and there. One big difference is that there's no big organization who is financing the GoGoFive organization. It's not until about halfway through the season, series, the Sentai season, that the world gets to know about these things. And one of the big things is about negative energy, and that's one of the big things. Apparently, there's this random configuration. Now, a lot of the characters go through pretty much the similar arcs they did in Lights Rescue, so not much difference there. Now there is some differences here and there how characters are done. Now they do pretty much get the same weapons, except they just pretty much call different names. You have the V lasers, which are called let's see here. Let's see. You have the bracers, okay. The suits are actually called the anti-hazard suits. The fire laser, which is simply their blasters, which is simply what they used a lot. There's also the rescue ropes, the life bird, which we use as a rescue bird in Light Rescue. Okay, now the V lasers are actually called the V lancers, but pretty much they have the same function. And there's also let's see. Oh, in case you're wondering, if there's any use of the Mega Battles like they did in Light Rescue, they don't exist in the Sentai at all. Nope, they don't. Now, for the Megazords, so you have the 99 machines, which is the reason why they have named 99. Basically, it's Light Rescue Megazord, which forms into those Zords. Basically, the main Megazord is called Victory Robo. That's the main one. Grand Liner is the Super Train Megazord. Lunar Boy is the Astro Megazord. Is it's a support mech, which actually had a 6 Ranger, even though it didn't have one in you have Max Richter Bobo, which is simply kind of similar when the shuttle merges with Light Rescue Megazord. You have Victory Mars, which is kind of like the I don't remember the name of it, but it serves pretty much the same function as it does in Power Rangers. Same function. Then you have the Sigma Project, which is only appears for 1 episode. And in case you're wondering which Zord was this one used for a Light Rescue, it's the Life Force Megazord. Yeah, they only use this dang thing once the entire time. Oh, in case you're wondering, does in the finale, does the Megazords get controlled and the base get destroyed? Well, the base, if you're wondering what the area Bay 55 is and why it looks the way it does, why it keeps rising out of the ocean, well, that's where you use stock footage from the first episode, because the whole entire thing, Bay 55, is above the harbor the whole time. And the only reason why they lose it is because it gets buried by a tidal wave, which is caused by the main villain of the season. and how Empus. Now the finale is completely different. They do a complete reverse in Power Rangers. The only difference is that Grand Witch, but Gwendolyn, who's Queen Ventura, she actually gets destroyed completely. Yep. Um, the characters go similar arcs, so not much. It's kind of similar arcs they do in the Lights Rescue, except they're related to each other, stuff like that. But overall, it's a pretty interesting season, and it's a little bit better than Lightspeed Rescue. For one thing, the villains actually develop a lot more better. And one thing interesting, though, is that when Diabolical Sentai counterpart comes back to life after he's destroyed, and they try to do this a few times, but eventually they do succeed. But Viper's counterpart actually dies. She's not killed by Queen Venture. She's not killed by Gwendolyn. Nope, she's not killed by Gwendolyn. She dies in a very peaceful way, and yeah, and she doesn't look that much different. The actress, it looks like they used the same actress they used. It could have been the different actress they used for Vipra, but I know the outfit's pretty much the same. But I kind of think that both actresses look very similar. Perry pretty much serves the same function as Jinxer. You know, one big difference is that in the Sentai, he actually does not die until the following crossover movie. But he doesn't die like he does in Lightspeed Rescue. He's not killed in a Megazord. So, yeah. It's a good season overall, and I give the season a 9 out of 10. But before I go, I want to talk about this really awesome movie. GoGoFive, Sudden Shock, New Warrior. Which is basically kind of like a one-shot warrior type of thing, which kind of functions as their sixth warrior that they had. Which kind of used some of the basis for this for the Titanium Ranger. Now, pretty much the original demon. Now, pretty much the character is known as a demon hunter, and he apparently has been hunting in space for years. Apparently, since his group was killed by this one particular demon, who does team up with the main villain of the series, of the season, and they do fight the Rangers. And there's the female shuttle pilot. She, of course, believe it or not, briefly becomes this dang thing. And they don't really bring this up in the series. It is canon. It's a really epic movie and good scale. But of course, this is before this is before Zippus dies. So I kind of think you would watch. The best time to watch it is between episodes 17 and 18. I kind of watch it between episodes 18 and 19. But the best time to watch is before episode 18. Pretty much the characters, the villains die, with the exception of the character Dents, who's basically Viper. With the exception of her, all the characters pretty much die the same way they do in Power Rangers. No change there. And when they get to the temple that they're at in the Sentai, that's kind of toward the very end of the Sentai. In Power Rangers, it was kind of like the third to last episode. This one, it was kind of like the second to last one. It was a bit different, per se. But pretty much, if you watch GoGoFive, I do highly recommend it. Especially if people are fans of Light Rescue, check out the source material. Now, I don't know when Shop Factory is going to adapt this particular... is going to sub this particular season. The first one they did was Zyuranger. That was the first one they did it for. They've already done it for at least 3. And recently they announced that O-Ranger is going to be announced. I'm going to do O-Ranger soon. But overall, like I said, great one. A great episode. A great series. Alright, that's it for this one. In the next one, I'm going to talk about GoGoFive versus Gingamon. Okay? And the following episode, I'm going to be talking about O-Ranger. Yeah, O-Ranger. And we'll talk about also the differences between that and Power Rangers Zeo and how characters were. Just like I do with a lot of these. But this is good. Even the solo film is really, really good. I mean, even though, yeah, it's early CGI, they used a little bit of CGI in the film, but it's a great film to watch. Okay? So until next episode, I will see you there. Bye.